Hey everyone, welcome back to the Listen Up Grub podcast. This is the podcast bringing you the biggest LGBTQ plus stories from around the world, from politics and pop culture to community news and conversations shaping our lives. I am your host, Zach Randles-Friedman, and today we're covering a packed roundup. A controversial Idaho bill targeting pride flags, the cast of Heated Rivalry calling out toxic fans, a wave of anti-trans legislation across the United States, and so much more. Let's start in Idaho, where the bill could fine cities over pride flags. A controversial bill in Idaho could soon penalize local governments that fly pride flags. House Bill 561 would impose fines of $2,000 per day on cities or counties that fly any flags not included in the state's official approved list. Supporters say the bill is about standardizing government displays. But critics point out the proposal appears aimed squarely at Boise, Idaho, which has previously flown the LGBTQ plus pride flag outside city buildings. Republican Representative Ted Hill, who supports the measure, acknowledged the bill as partly to a response of Boise's pride display. LGBTQ advocates say the proposal is another example of lawmakers attempting to erase visible support for queer communities in public spaces. Again, there is so much going on in this world, and these politicians are worried about a pride flag. I think their priorities need to be reevaluated. Next, that cast of Heated Rivalry calls out toxic fans. The cast of the popular MLM hockey series Heated Rivalry is speaking out after hateful comments flooded social media. Actors Hudson William and Francois Arnaud, who played fan favorites characters Shane Hollander and Scott Hunter, posted a joint message aimed at toxic viewers. The statement condemned what they described as racist, homophobic, biophobic, misogynist, ageist, parasocial, and bigoted comments. The actors made it clear that this type of behavior won't be tolerated. The statement reads in part, "None of us need your hateful love. We respect and support each other and are on the same side. If you can't accept that, get the fuck out." Williams later clarified on Threads that the message was Arnaud's idea and that he helped write it. The post has since been shared by author Rachel Reed, showrunner Jacob Tierney, and several members of the cast. Actor Senna Danielle Karamova also spoke out, asking fans not to turn a story about love into a hate online. She reminded viewers that the actors are real people with families and partners, and that spreading false narratives is not support. Next, the surge of anti-trans bills across the United States. A new wave of legislation targeting transgender rights is spreading across the U.S. Nearly a dozen bills affecting transgender people were introduced or passed in just the first week of March. In at least 7 states, lawmakers are pushing measures that would ban transgender people from using bathrooms matching their identity, prevent trans women and girls from participating in sports, restrict transgender people from teaching in schools. Civil rights groups say the surge is part of a broader national strategy targeting trans community during election cycle. Supporters of the legislation claim the bills are about fairness and safety, but LGBTQ advocates argue the proposals are discriminatory and designed to marginalize transgender Americans. Once again, we're focusing on something that is not important. Transgender people are less than 1% of the population, and we are focusing so much time, energy, and money into hurting people that just want to live their lives. Makes zero sense to me whenever we should be focusing on who's in the Epstein files. And we are starting a war with Iran. And we have also 8 other countries that we have invaded in the past 14 months. Let's talk about that. Next, Megyn Kelly attacks Megan Rapinoe. Former Fox News host Megyn Kelly is facing backlash after launching a homophobic attack against soccer star Megan Rapinoe. Kelly criticized Rapinoe after the former U.S. women's soccer captain questioned the optics of the U.S. men's hockey team visiting the White House. During her comments, Kelly referred to Rapinoe as a series of assaults, using a series of insults, including calling her a rabid, angry lesbian. The remarks quickly sparked outrage online. Rapinoe, who has long been a prominent LGBTQ activist, has recently faced criticism from conservative commentators over her political views and support for equality initiatives. Megyn Kelly is an awful person. Next, Arizona governor vetoes bill tied to anti-LGBTQ group. In Arizona, Governor Katie Hobbs has vetoed a bill that would have funded an organization known for anti-LGBTQ positions. The proposal would have created a specialty license plate honoring conservative activist Charlie Kirk, with a portion of the proceeds going to Turning Point USA, Kirk's organization. In her veto letter, Hobbs said the bill risked injecting partisan politics into state programs that should remain neutral. Democratic lawmakers also argued the government program should not financially benefit political advocacy groups. Critics also pointed out Republican lawmakers have repeatedly blocked attempts to create an LGBTQ pride specialty plate supporting queer organizations. Next, LGBTQ nightclub destroyed in a mysterious fire. In Birmingham, Alabama, a beloved LGBTQ landmark has been destroyed by a fire that investigators say remains unexplained. The Quest Club, a longtime queer nightclub that first opened in 1982, caught fire Thursday night. While the venue had closed in 2024 after officials revoked its license, the building remained a powerful symbol for many in the LGBTQ community. Local activists say the club served as a vital safe space for decades. Josh Coleman, president of Central Alabama Pride, said the loss is deeply emotional for many people. He described the venue as a beacon of hope for LGBTQ people across Alabama. Fire officials say the cause of the blaze is still under investigation. Now we go to Pixar's controversy over removed LGBTQ storyline. Pixar is also facing criticism after comments from its chief creative officer, Pete Docter, revealed a potential LGBTQ storyline was removed from an upcoming animated film. According to the chief creative officer at Pixar, some of the scenes were suggesting that could be gay or cut following test screenings. He told the Wall Street Journal that the studio wanted the film to appeal to the widest possible audience. He reportedly said, "We're making a movie, not hundreds of millions of dollars of therapy." The original director of the film, Adriana Molina, who has based the story partly on her own childhood, ultimately left the project. The decision has sparked renewed conversations about LGBTQ representation in mainstream family entertainment. And our last story is Chappell Roan films paparazzi confrontation. Pop star Chappell Roan is going viral after filming paparazzi she says were harassing her following Paris Fashion Week. In the video, Chappell flips the script by turning her phone on photographers who were chasing her. The moment has sparked broader discussion online about celebrity privacy, media boundaries, and how artists are pushing back against invasive paparazzi culture. I seen that video on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, and they were very up in her face, and I see why she got a little pissed off and was clapping back. So good for you, Chappell. And that's your LGBTQ news roundup for today. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow the Listen Up Girl podcast wherever you get your podcast and share it with someone who wants to stay informed about what's happening in the LGBTQ community. I'm Zach Randles-Friedman. Thanks for listening. Stay informed, stay loud, and I'll see you tomorrow with more LGBTQ+